Okay, I see the New York Times. This is a business article from the New York Times. I am just like completely overwhelmed by all these little boxes, and I think this is a graph. Let's see. Rectangles are sized according to the number of people in the top 1%. Oh, I forgot to read the title. That would help. The top 1%. What jobs do they have? Explore the occupations and industries of the nation's wealthiest households. This should be really interesting. Okay, so the rectangles are sized according to the number of people in the top 1%. Color shows the percentage of people within the occupation and industry that are in the top 1%. Okay, and then there seems to be manager, 376,076 members. The largest single group in the 1% are those who listed their occupation as a manager. Well, that makes sense. Managers are in charge of people and usually higher up in places. Lawyers who work on Wall Street are twice as lucky as those in general practice to make the top 1%. That seems pretty accurate based on what I know. Physicians who work primarily in doctors' offices are somewhat more likely to make the cutoff, though all doctors are well represented in the group. I kind of want to look at that. Oh my, when you click on it, it gives you a little more info. Offices and clinics of physicians. 97,958 people with this job live in households in the top 1%. It's a decent amount. 27.2% of the people with this job are in the top 1% of our country. I feel like that should be a little higher. School teachers don't earn enough to make the top 1% on their own, but many live in 1% households primarily through marriage. Yeah, I would definitely agree with this. My husband has a sales job and he does pretty well, so I can definitely agree with that. That teachers can't really do that on their own, unfortunately, though they should. Okay, so I guess this is kind of like a graph or infographic. This is pretty funny. I found the teacher one. People at this job. People, yeah, very pretty small numbers. Still there though, still represented. So it looks like the biggest ones are lawyers, managers in other industries, physicians in offices, and then some in the hospitals, other office chief executives, and public administrators. That seems pretty general. I'm pharmacists. I thought that would be higher. Cooks. Interesting, because that, yeah, variously defined. That can mean a lot of different things. Therapists, hospitals, other industries, therapists. So it looks like they're organizing them each by what type of industry within it. So like we have teacher, elementary, and secondary, but also college and universities. So it says that 59,362 teachers of elementary and secondary live in households with 1%, but only 0.9% are in the top percent. But if you look at college and universities, people at this job live in households in the top 1%, 1.8. So it's showing that on their own, maybe college and university teachers are able to be in the 1%. Wow, this is very interesting. I'm not really sure if I like this chart. I like how it's interactive, but I still think it's pretty confusing. I feel like there's better ways to do it. Wow. Cool. Very interesting.